Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm going to talk about what Blu-rays I've gotten recently, Blu-rays and DVDs. This video will probably be after my recent book pickups and reads. But yeah, I felt like I had enough to share with you. Not a ton, not as much as my books, but yeah, and also some things that I'd like to get in the future. So yeah, I have some coffee here. All right. Like I said, not a ton. It's not super exciting, but let's see. First is Married with Children on DVD. I know it's very random, but I love Married with Children. I always have liked this show, and I feel like I've become. I mean, I wouldn't consider myself a Blu-ray collector, but I certainly, value my physical media, as I'm sure a lot of you other Blu-ray, fans do. And I think as time goes on, I just become so much more disillusioned day after day with streaming services, right? And so I think the concept of owning your own media, it becomes more important to me as time goes on. So I was watching this on Hulu, and I just was like, why don't I just own this, and then I can watch it whenever I want. And we know why we get these things, but yeah, anyways, that's why I bought it. It's just because it's such a random thing to own, right? But I own some other television shows. I really like owning TV shows on Blu-ray and DVD. It's like you can just bring it with you wherever. You don't have to worry about what streaming service it's going to be on next. There's always special features and everything. This is a pretty low effort DVD collection, but it's fine. It looks pretty good. So yeah, that's that. Actually, two other TV shows, surprisingly. One is season 1 of Fargo, the FX show. This was really good. I mean, I'm a fan of the Coen brothers. They didn't, make this, although it's very much in their style, and I believe they're producers. And I love the movie Fargo, and so I was very skeptical. My friend recommended I watch this, and I thought it was excellent. I mean, it was pretty much a 5-star watch. I did start season 2. I have not finished it. I didn't like it as much. I did think it was good, but it didn't have the spark that this did. But man, if you like the movie and you haven't seen this, it is worth it. I was very, very skeptical, and I was kind of like putting it off for a while because I'm like, they're going to capitalize on the success of that movie. No, they did an awesome job. The writer, I don't remember who wrote this. I believe he wrote everything. I guess his name's not on the back. It should be, because he really carried this show. Of course, the acting is great. Maybe it's Noah Hawley. I'm not sure. But anyways, the writing is phenomenal. Not only is it just excellent television show writing, and it's very mature and funny and everything, but he nails the style of the Coen brothers. And of course, there's like Billy Bob Thornton is in here, Martin Freeman. There's a bunch of great actors, and it's just a wonderful, wonderful show. And there's tons of special features. There's a lot of director and actor commentary on here, and it looks great. It's a very good looking Blu-ray. The only downside I had to this entire show was that there was CGI in here for some things that looked not so hot, and it almost ruined the scene. It took me out of it, but that's really, it wasn't like a deal breaker. Honestly, it was just a phenomenal thing from start to finish, like up there with the best shows I've ever watched. One more television show series, and that is John Adams. This was an HBO series, I think from like quite a while ago, 2009. And this is a 7-part series that was on HBO. I don't know if too many. This was pretty popular when it came out. I know it won awards, but I don't hear people talking about it anymore. But I never watched it, and I just wanted to pick it up on Blu-ray. And it's a 7-parter, but they're long, like 90-minute episodes. And it's not much to dislike about this so far. I've watched 2 episodes, and it's just great in all respects. The acting is phenomenal. It's very well directed. It looks great. There's not much bad to say about it. It's a great show because there's not a lot of spectacle. There's not a lot, at least so far. It reminds me of some of my favorite movies where it's really just people sitting around talking, and that really allows the actors to deliver their lines as if they're like in a theater production, and they can really focus on the performance less than the spectacle of putting together, a show. So it's got some great acting and dialogue. And next 3 are just some movies here. True Grit. If you watch my book video. I read this recently by Charles Portis, and it was one of the best books I've ever read. This is another Coen Brothers. It says Jeff Bridges, Matt Damon, Josh Brolin, and of course that's Haley Steinfeld. I think that's what her name is. She's like the main character, and she's not. I mean, these are like top name actors, of course, but she really is like the main character, and she should be credited. And she did a pretty good job. This movie was fantastic. I was really impressed with it. I mean, I love the Coen Brothers, and I didn't think I was going to dislike it, but it really was a really good adaptation, and it's very, very faithful to the book. There's, of course, some minor changes, but I was like really surprised. It's a very, very solid adaptation. If you like the book and you've never seen this, then I don't think you're going to be worried. It's really good. It has the trademark humor. It has the great dialogue. It's great. Jeff Bridges is so good as Rooster Cogburn. Like, he is what I envisioned, you know. It's great. And the only thing I could say that I disliked was Haley Steinfeld, if that's how her name is pronounced. Haley Steinfeld, yeah. I mean, she was okay. I mean, I think she's like 14, so she was the appropriate age to play Maddie. But I mean, you know, child actor. Not when you're acting against these other actors, you know. But no, a great movie, a great film. Next is Truman Show on 4K. Classic movie, one of my favorites. It's one of those movies I can watch over and over. I never get tired of it. It's got a great message. It's super well done. It's succinct. It's a great film. And this is the recent 4K release. And so I mean, we all know the Truman Show. So how is it in terms of like restoration? Visually, it's good, but not great, I would say. So I would say I'm a touch disappointed, but it's not bad. I'd give it like a B or a B minus, in that it definitely looks better than what I remember it looking like, but there are not a lot of shots where you're like blown away by how good it looks like some movies do. I will say, like, the stereotypical, you know, or the telltale, I should say, when they zoom in on people's clothing, a lot of times when you look at restorations, like the stitching and the texture of clothing is a dead giveaway for how good of a job is done. And that's certainly true here. There's a lot of shots of their clothes where I'm like, whoa, that looks good. And the HDR is great and fitting. Skin tones look great. It's pretty nice looking. It has Dolby Vision and Dolby Atmos, but it just looks okay. Like, it doesn't blow me away like some have. And there's some DNR in here that's not terrible, but it's in here, and it always bothers me a bit. In terms of audio, there's not too much to dislike. It has an Atmos track, although I don't think it takes advantage of the Atmos that much. But I think, you know, I think Atmos should be standard on everything, basically, even if, you know, there's not a lot of like overhead special effects, just because why not? So this is a movie where you're not going to get tons of crazy overhead effects, but, you know, there's the rainstorm and everything like that, and that's pretty powerful. So the dynamic variance, which is very important to me in a film, I don't like movies that are all one volume. I love when there's a lot of variance. It's very good. And it's mixed very well. I mean, there are moments where the characters are whispering to each other, and it's very, very quiet, but you can hear what they're saying. And then, boom, it's like loud as hell. So, great. Special features. There's a couple, looks like there's some deleted scenes and stuff on the Blu-ray, not on the 4K, but yeah, pretty solid release. I recommend it as an upgrade. And last is John Wick. This is chapters 1 through 3 on 4K. I never watched these. I know these aren't like, you know, master classes in filmmaking, but I know they're like fun, crazy, stupid kung fu action movies, and sometimes that's good. And I like Keanu Reeves. He's a favorite of mine. He's a cool dude. So that's it. Not too much. I don't know what's coming. Stuff I want to watch. There's some things I'd like, but yeah, it's all, you know, they got a lot of stuff. So yeah, that's all with me. Let me know if you've seen anything good recently. Of course, how could I make a video about films without talking about Barbieheimer, of course, right? That's kind of been like a huge thing. Holy marketing, right? Like, talk about marketing. I'm sure they're good films. I haven't seen them, but talk about marketing. That is some great, great, great A marketing going on with those movies. I'd like to see both of them. I mean, they both look fun. I'm a little more interested in Oppenheimer, you know, if you know my tastes, but, you know, I love, Barbie seems to be like a fun popcorn flick, and I don't know if it'd be one I'd be picking up on Blu-ray, but I'm interested in seeing it. Oppenheimer, I'm really interested in seeing, although I have to say, and I know this is heresy, I'm not the biggest Christopher Nolan fan. I mean, I think he makes great movies, but they're not always like, I don't really care for the Batman trilogy he did. It's just not my cup of tea, really. They're great. I like them. They're just, I don't find myself going to seek them out. I didn't see Tenet, so I can't comment on that. Inception, Interstellar, good, not great. Memento, one of my favorite movies, great film. So I like Christopher Nolan, but I'm not like, it's not a big of a deal to me as it is to some other folks, but I am very interested to see it nonetheless. I'm sure it's a good film. So yeah, that's it. Everybody have a great day. Peace out. Let me know what you've been up to, what you've been watching, all that good stuff, and I'll see you soon. See ya.